This is uncomfortable conversations.
This is supposed to be uncomfortable. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Teach Me Golding, where I help you get gooder at life. I'm so excited for today because this is part 2 of my series, Uncomfortable Conversations About Money, where I interview and I talk about different careers, and we talk about the good things, the bad things, how you get into the profession, and most importantly, how much money you make. I had the privilege of bringing in my good friend Anthony, aka Hadlen, and he is a multi-talented person, and we're going to be talking about his business as a hypnotist. Not only is Hadlen a hypnotist, he's also a magician, photographer, a videographer. He's super inspiring because he quit his job 10 years ago and now he's doing entertainment full time. Also, please don't forget to gingerly flick that like button until it turns a ravishing new color. It really helps my channel out and I really appreciate everybody. Also, you definitely want to subscribe if you're not subscribed and you're watching this. We're definitely doing this series and I'm super excited to talk about money and talk about the different jobs out there that are really interesting and possibly appealing to you. Anyways, I'll shut up and let's get to it. Okay, so this is Uncomfortable Conversations About Money. This is my guest, Anthony. Thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me, Tyler.
Yeah, so we're talking all, like, money's a taboo thing, but we're just going to lay it all out on the table and we're just going to talk about money and how much you make.
All right.
So you are a hypnotist.
Yep.
What the heck is a hypnotist? You, like, control people's minds. That's the thing people think about. What?
Of course. Yeah, what the media and everything portrays is that it's mind control, when in fact it's the exact opposite of mind control. It's actually being hyper controlled of your own mind, and I'm just the guy that helps guide you there. And then when you're there, I guide you into more suggestions that on stage are funny and entertaining. And that's basically it.
So could you make me kill somebody?
No, unless that's the thing though. There are people out there that aren't mentally stable and you don't know who they are. So that's why you never say that stuff, because normally you can't make someone do something they won't do, right? Like against their morals, you can't make someone do that. But that person might have that as part of their morals, like they would do it. So you just don't say it, because you never know. There might be a guy where you're like, hey, jump off a bridge, and you'd be like, well, no, man. And then the next guy would be like, yeah.
Oh dear.
You know what I mean?
Now, how did you become a hypnotist? What does it take to make money being a hypnotist?
A weekend course.
A weekend course. So like 2 days and you're a hypnotist.
There are courses out there where you can do that. But for myself, I started as a magician. So I had the stage presence to go into it. And that's what you need. You need to have confidence when you're on stage. And if you don't have any training prior to, it's going to be really hard. Now, to learn hypnosis, books, seminars, I chose to go to seminars in Vegas, and I went for once a year for 7 years, and then did a 1 month intensive training with a hypnotist where I traveled and toured with him around the States. And then that alone was the best training I've ever had.
Would you say that you've put in more work than most hypnotists would?
I don't know if I'm the hardest working hypnotist.
No, not saying that, but
okay.
I'm saying like to be charging shows before you started charging shows, you would put in more work than other people from what I've heard of other hypnotists in their process.
Okay, sure. I don't know. I can't say confirm or deny that.
Confirm or deny it right now.
I don't know. I don't talk to many other hypnotists. I know a lot of hypnotists that are harder working than I am.
Yeah. Most hypnotists are probably losers though.
This is uncomfortable conversation.
This is supposed to be uncomfortable. Okay, an example of me is me. I learned magic. I barely knew anything. And then I put a Kijiji ad online to do a stage show. And my very first show was for Sears for 75 people, a stage show. I did terrible, but they paid me. And I got off the stage and people were probably like, whoa, that was really bad.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of bad hypnotists out there.
What's the craziest situation that's happened to you?
On a stage show?
On a stage show, being a hypnotist.
I was a noob when I did this. Let's just put it that way. And every single show, you're trying new routines and you're working the language that you use in that to make sure that you don't have somebody like react in a bad way. And that's what I didn't do. I used very general words and told this girl straight up that there's a snake on her, and she's got that phobia, whatever the phobia is called, and she ran off and started crying, and bringing her out of hypnosis didn't help. She was just that shook from it. So what I should have done in hindsight is I should have made it so that even if she has a phobia, to say, okay, if you have a phobia, you no longer have a phobia, but there's now a snake on you, and you're not going to react. You're not going to worry about it because it's just a snake. And remember, you no longer have a phobia. So like to remove the phobia before doing it, just in case.
Jeez.
Right. So there's a little.
So did you get hired back for that event the next year?
I did. Yeah.
And side story, she conquered her fear of snakes.
Maybe I should.
We'll just say that
she didn't come to the next show. But people did actually like enjoy that part because it showed how real it is.
Yeah.
And like just proved to the audience.
That's crazy. And just to get this right, if you don't want to be hypnotized, you won't be hypnotized.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a huge misconception is people are like, oh, I don't want to go to the show because I don't want to like be in a trance and do something I don't want to do. You're not going to ever do something you're not willing to do, and you're never going to be hypnotized if you don't want to be hypnotized.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Exactly.
So I tried getting into hypnosis because I wanted to make the money, because hypnotists make more money than magicians. So I tried hypnotizing some people, and I like got somebody to like go to sleep. He felt like a sack of potatoes. That's the analogy we learned back in the day. This guy like fell asleep, but then I didn't know what to do. I was like, no, I'm not doing this. How much money did you spend to go to these conferences? Every conference, what is it going to cost? Obviously flights and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. So the conference itself was $2,000 just for the seat. Mm-hmm. Each time, and then the flights, hotel, food, and all of that, maybe another $600.
Okay, so you're looking at $2,500 plus write-offs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, let's make it super uncomfortable. Have you ever done a show and not got paid?
Ooh, I've shown up to a place before I started taking deposits, and there's just nothing there. So someone was trolling and was like, yeah, we'll have you here at this time on this date. And I'm there and I'm like, I got my stuff. And then like knocking on
Oh my goodness. Note to self, all future entertainers get a deposit. Okay, so this is cool because you're a magician and a hypnotist, so you can sell both of those services. How do you make the most money out of clients? Like, what's your strategy to like make the most possible money from every single show?
So I create multiple packages. First, I start with making a package that is competitive with others in the area, and then I make packages that are above and further.
Love it.
And way more expensive.
Love it.
Than the competitors.
And you find people take those expensive packages more than you think?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, so what's your base package worth? How much am I paying for your base package?
$2,000 is the start.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes up to, so $2,000 is for, I call it the silver. That's the entry level. Gold is the next level up, $2,000, $2,900, and then $3,600.
Nice.
I think $3,500 actually.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go up. I kind of model it after Apple and how they enhance their packages.
Love it. There's a lot of value in that, because a lot of people, when they're charging for entertainment, they have a flat rate. And that's the biggest thing. Like, if you're going to get value out of this conversation, if you're watching this, is like package everything, tier everything. Okay. What's the most you've ever made from a single gig?
$8,000.
$8,000. Tell me about it.
Okay. So it was a large package. I was doing my hypnosis show, full 90-minute hypnosis show. And it was the platinum package. And then in addition to that, we had a photo booth for 4 hours running, unlimited prints, props and whatnot. We had a DJ going through the entire event, playing music. And then also, since the DJ's there, he does my show. And then even during cocktail hour, I go around and do magic.
So you made $8,000 in a day, essentially.
After paying everybody, that was the gross. What I made off of that, paid them photo booth, probably paid them $500. DJ maybe paid them $800-900. So I think I netted like $7,000.
You netted $7,000 in one day.
Maybe
How did that
just
feel?
a bit less.
How did that feel?
Off of one gig.
Off of one gig. Off of one
awesome.
gig.
Yeah, it's awesome.
You can go to Maui for that, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's so cool.
Yeah. Thanks, man. I would love to be one day making that just on my show without all those extra add-ons. Because all those extra add-ons are great, but then you got to manage the people. You got to manage the setup.
You've got yourself an empire, is what you're saying.
Actually, I don't do any of those services anymore. I'm stepping away because I want my show to be worth that much. So I'm putting full focus into that, and no longer doing the photo booth or selling DJ services.
Interesting.
Of other people.
Interesting.
And also, what I found is that since I had a photo booth, I couldn't partner and like be friends with other people with photo booths. You know what I mean?
They were offended that
I had a competing service, and then even other DJs that they had the same mentality, and so to be able to collaborate with all these people, it was better to just have my show.
Nice, love it.
So
love
that's
it. Good for
that's
you.
where I'm at now.
Good for you. Also, less stress during the day. You're not like performing and like,
yeah.
I hope the photo booth's going well.
Right? Yeah, and then like you're thinking about all these different things and enhancing those products when. What if you put all that brain power into your own product? And now my show is just elevating so much faster.
I love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. So what's an ideal, realistic goal that you could make just from hypnosis? Not magic, not anything else, just from hypnosis in one single year. What's a realistic goal for 2021 post-pandemic? What are you going to make?
So we're saying
post-pandemic. Maybe this is a year or so from now.
Okay.
What's a realistic goal? What are you bringing in? 6 figures, like 100,000, 200,000.
Exactly, like 100,000 or more, easy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because if you break that down, that's only 33 shows.
33 shows. So you're working 30. I mean, people think you're only working those 33 days. You're obviously doing way more than that, but 33 shows, 100K.
Right?
Yeah.
That's it. You only need 33 sales to hit that.
And in December, you're doing daily shows.
You're doing like 20 in December. And all you have to do is another 13 in grad season, and you're good.
What are the other expenses that we're not talking about here? What are the expenses that people don't think about when they're going to get into this?
Ads.
Okay.
Running ads on Facebook, Instagram, Google.
They work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. As long as you put enough money into it.
Yeah. What else did you have to put money into?
Yeah, your training, camera gear, because you need to market yourself. Either hiring a media team to make your content to advertise, or do it yourself, which means then you have to buy the camera gear, you got to buy the microphones, you got to buy the computer, you got to buy the training to use all of that, and all that is worth time as well.
Buying the mic for the show, the lapel mic, you're spending $1,000 on that, I would imagine.
Actually, I've gone away from that. I know I don't have my own gear anymore, but the client provides all of it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Always.
Yep.
Oh, I'm intrigued by this. So you basically show up. You set up a few things, and you dress yourself, and you show up.
Yes, exactly.
And you go and make $8,000 sometimes.
Sure.
Post-pandemic.
Post-pandemic. Yeah, that's it. And that's why I'm doing it that way, because if you think about an entertainer that's like an A-list celebrity, and I know that's like, I'm not an A-list celebrity, but like if you were to hire one of those guys to do something, that's how it would be. And when a client hires you, they want that experience. They want to be like, okay, and they want to feel this guy, he's got it together. This is going to be, because it all starts with that first impression, right? And you start with that. So why should we be setting up our own audio gear? Our own chairs, our own tables.
People watching this are thinking like, you are a smug dude, but you are so right.
Know,
as a magician, it sounds super douchey, but you're right. You're hitting this on the head, because as a magician, you show up with like 100 bags and you look like an idiot.
Yeah, man.
Like you look like an idiot, and then you're like sound checking before the show, and you look so pathetic. Like it's like, oh, I'm paying like $3,000 for this magic show, and this guy's like, mic check, mic. You're like, it's embarrassing. Or you like, maybe you did a show at 7 and then you've got to book it to the show at 9, and you're like fumbling around, like getting everything together. Oh. So you just show up and perform as a son.
Exactly.
No wonder you like doing hypnosis
Exactly.
more than magic.
Yeah, and I'm actually designing a new magic show so that it would be the same, where it all just fits on my person, and then you just show up.
Love it.
So
Jealous.
You could just fly to a place, actually that's why. Stand-up comedians, they just roll into a place, right?
Yeah.
And they have all their material in their head.
Yeah.
Hypnosis is very similar, but you need chairs and people. So that's kind of what I want. Is I want to be able to go to a venue, have everything with me, no case, no nothing, and then you have an hour of material, just like a stand-up comedian.
I'm making this about me right now.
Yeah.
But I flew to an event as a magician, and I left my suit on the airplane.
Oh no!
It was like really confessions about money. It's a $5,000 gig. I left my suit on it. I performed in jeans and a t-shirt.
That's fine, dude. And that's another thing. Like, as an entertainer, why do we have to wear a suit?
Yeah. Why do I need a top hat and
We're the
doves as a
artists.
magician?
They're hiring us for the show. We can wear whatever
Exactly.
we want.
Exactly. It's not good. Okay. Well, I think that's all the questions I have for you.
Okay.
So I just want to say thanks
man.
for coming. And
Thank you very much for having me.
We'll see you guys later.
All right. See ya.
He doesn't know what we're doing.
Oh, is this a thing? This is a thing. This is a thing. Okay. Okay. It's a 2-hand, another 1 hand.
You can do this.
How long do we do this for?
Until we feel uncomfortable.
Okay.
And that's it.